Good morning everyone. Today we will start our first chapter, the French Revolution of class 9th. The two topics that we are going to cover today are the role of women in French Revolution and the abolition of slavery. First, the role of women in French Revolution. From the very beginning, women were actively participated in revolutionary activities. They hoped to improve their lives because at that time most of the women of third estate had to work as a servant from the prosperous section. They were not educated and they were not trained. So, they hope that after revolution they will improve their life. But the Constitution of 1791 disappointed them because it declared them as a passive citizen. It means they were not allowed to vote. So, to discuss and to raise their voice, they started many political clubs and newspapers. The Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women was the most famous among them. After revolutionary government introduced some laws in favor of women. They started many state schools and schooling education were compulsory for the girls. They get right to marry according to their will. Divorce become legal. Now they were educated and trained, and they started themselves as the small traders and businessmen. But in the reign of terror, all the political clubs and newspapers were banned. Many prominent women leaders were arrested and executed. And finally, in 1946, they got the voting right in France. Olympe de Gouges was the most famous and prominent leader of women who declared the rights of citizens and women. Now, the second chapter, the second topic, the abolition of slavery. Firstly, we have to know that who were slaves. What is the difference between slave and servants? So, the main difference between the slave and servant is that we had to pay servant for their service, but not to the slaves. Slaves were once sold and till their life they had to do work freely. It was started in 17th century. The slaves were tightly packed to the ships for 3 months from the Atlantic to the Caribbean. There they were sold to the merchants of indigo, sugar, coffee, etc. The main port cities of France like Bordeaux and Nantes owed their economic prosperity to the flourishing slave trade. Well, it was abolished in the Jacobin period in 1794, but only after 10 years it was reintroduced by the Napoleon Bonaparte. And finally, in 1848, it was completely abolished. Thank you. This is Olympidigos, and she is very prominent leader in the time of French Revolution. She declared the rights of women and citizen. In that, she said that woman is born free and remain equal to man in rights. Sovereignty reside in the nations, and a nation is nothing but the union of man and women. All citizens should be qualified for all types of honor and jobs. Law should be same for all.